Right, guys, so there's a wee bit of controversy involving Leigh Griffiths and Kel Lafferty. Now, I did want to make a video on this a wee bit closer to the time that actually happened, but you know what? Scotland had just qualified for the Euros. I've been busy with work and it wasn't really a priority, but it's a few days later now. It has died down, but I thought I'd make a video on it anyway. So I believe it was like an hour after. I think it was even less than an hour, to be honest, after the European playoff qualifiers had happened. Obviously, Scotland have qualified for the Euros, and Northern Ireland, who Kel Lafferty plays for, have not qualified. And there was a picture of Kel Lafferty on Twitter looking very upset after the match, post-match. I think he had like tears in his eyes. I think he was crying, and Leigh Griffiths took time to go on his Twitter and like this photo, even though Kel Lafferty had just buried his sister like a few days previous. Since then, Leigh Griffiths has came out and claimed that he didn't know that Kel Lafferty's sister was dead, and that's not what he was liking it for. He said he was simply liking the picture for banter, because Scotland always get stick for not qualifying, and because Scotland qualified and Northern Ireland didn't, he wanted to give stick to Kel Lafferty. I mean, what an absolute joke. Clearly that's not the case at all. Leigh Griffiths talking complete shite here, talking out his ass completely. It's funny how all the people that he could have went on and had banter, as he calls it, with. It's funny that all the people, he didn't even text his manager Neil Lennon or whatever. He somehow found his way to Kel Lafferty's Twitter and liked the post about Kel Lafferty being upset. And what Griffiths said about it was, not that I should have to. I'll start from the beginning. Quote, "Not that I should have to, but after seeing what I'm seeing on social media, I feel I need to." So basically he's talking about an apology. "After last night's win, I want to state that I was not slagging Kel Lafferty for losing a family member. That is the lowest of the low and not the type of person I am. The picture was in a Northern Ireland strip, and the fact they didn't qualify and we did, which has been a huge achievement for the entire nation. Everyone gets carried away and people think I liked it because his sister died. Absolutely not. We won, they didn't. We've been mocked for years about failure, but we did it. I want to apologise for any misunderstanding there has been towards Kel and his family. I don't deserve what I've been sent, but I've had enough and something needs to be said on the matter." So here you can see straight away Leigh Griffiths coming out on the defensive, and he's basically saying that it's a half-assed apology, because he's saying that he shouldn't have to, but he's going to do it because he's getting abused, and he's made himself out to be the victim here already. And even after that, even after he liked the tweet, he came out and he retweeted a Conor McGregor post that said something along the lines of "Don't apologise for anything." So I mean, one minute he's apologising, the next minute he doesn't think he should be apologising. And why would he retweet that? "Don't apologise for anything," if he wasn't talking about his sister? Because therefore, if he was simply just creating some banter, he would feel absolute no need to apologise. Apologising wouldn't even be on his mind. So of course it was about Kel Lafferty's sister. And he says it's not the type of person he is. Well, what type of person are you, Leigh Griffiths? Because to me, you're a fucking waster. You've been done for racism before. You're definitely sectarian. There's no doubt about that. And so what? Right, Kel Lafferty was showing a bit of emotion. Right, he was crying. The guy's just buried his sister and then tried to qualify his national team for the Euros, and he's a wee bit upset. You know what? I don't like Kel Lafferty, but you know what? Fair play, man. It is what it is. Look at Leigh Griffiths. This guy sat at home for months crying about depression, crying about mental health issues. What, could he lost a couple of bets? Big whoop, man. I lose bets on a daily basis. Do I cry? Do a fuck? I get on with it. I go to work. I come on. I make YouTube videos. And Leigh Griffiths sat at home crying his eyes out because he was feeling a wee bit down. So I mean, he can come on and he can try and rip the piss out of Kel Lafferty all once. But I really like Kel Lafferty, but Kel Lafferty is to me more of a man than Leigh Griffiths is. And I've seen a lot of Celtic fans come out and say that, obviously they're saying that Leigh Griffiths never said this. No, he never meant it about Kel Lafferty's sister. And they're also trying to excuse it by bringing up the whole Scott Brown sister thing. And that thing with Scott Brown was shocking. I think Scott Brown should have jumped in. He should have battered that Rangers fan. But let's be real. I think a lot of Rangers fans did condemn what he said, and Scott Brown himself came out and says that Rangers fans were great and that they were like reaching out to him and they were, sympathetic, and that they didn't agree with, the guy that, asked Scott Brown, how's your sister? So I don't get it. I mean, why can't we just agree here that Leigh Griffiths is a prick, right? He scored 2 great free kicks against England. Love him, love those free kicks. You know what I mean? He's a legend. If he gets if he goes to the Euros and he scores goals, you know what? Fucking fantastic. Leigh Griffiths, Sir Leigh Griffiths, whatever you want, right? Build a statue for the guy, but that doesn't mean he's not an arsehole, and he fucking is an arsehole, right? He's a sectarian, racist arsehole, and this was no coincidence. And it's a bit pathetic. Like, Scotland have just qualified, and he's busy on Twitter trying to, score points over Kel Lafferty. I mean, what the fuck? That should be that should be the least of his concerns, man. Celebrate the fact that we've qualified for a major tournament for the first time in 23 years, and he's a wee bitter, pathetic man on Twitter. You know what I mean? Trying to liking a picture of Kel Lafferty fucking showing emotion. So I mean, whatever. I mean, I'd rather, I can respect the guy that's showing a bit of emotion because he's lost his sister and he's lost a big major playoff match than a guy that sat at home and you didn't see him for months because he was greeting about losing a few bets and you know what I mean, and crying about mental health instead of dealing with it like a man. So man, it is what it is. Leigh Griffiths, I don't respect you at all. If you're playing for Scotland, I hope you do well, I hope you score, but as a person, I think you're a fucking arsehole. And aye guys, that's what I think of that video. It's nothing to do with him being a Celtic player or that or this. It's just a prick, and I don't like Kel Lafferty either here, but definitely I feel like Kel Lafferty is, Kel Lafferty's not in the wrong here. I mean, Kel Lafferty's an innocent bystander. All the guy did was play a game of football, and he's getting mocked online for, basically because he lost and his sister died. So, you know what, it is what it is. Leigh Griffiths, to say he's not that type of person, I mean, we all know your history, Leigh Griffiths, right? You're shady as fuck, so let's be real here. That's my thoughts. Let me know what your thoughts are down below. I mean, I guess there is a small chance that, he wasn't taking a jab at him, he wasn't mocking him for his sister died. There is a chance that, it's just a picture that he liked and it could be a coincidence, but I mean, I just don't buy it. I mean, Leigh Griffiths, he's got a track record of not being a very nice human being, so the chances of that just being a total coincidence, I don't believe it. If you believe it, let me know what you think down below. Anyway, Scotland are going to the Euros. I don't want this to overshadow it, but I mean, Leigh Griffiths, you're a fucking arsehole, and that's the end of it. Anyway, till next time, guys. Peace.